Yeah, what's up, man? It's Tajai from the Hieroglyphics crew, Souls of Mischief posse member. Trying to kick it real tough, you know what I'm saying? I'm on this full circle tour. US and Canada, about to go to Europe in a little while. Just chilling.
Word. Man, you want to tell the people at home who Hieroglyphics are, just in case they don't know?
Yeah, Hieroglyphics is a crew, man. It consists of Del the Funky Homo Sapien, Souls of Mischief, which is A+, Opio, Festo, and Tajai, Casual, Pep Love, and Domino, you know?
Okay, sure. So, you've been around the game for how long? And how long have you been putting out records?
Man, we've been a crew probably with friends probably the past 22, 23 years.
Okay.
But professionally, I say Del's music hit first in 91, so 12 years, almost 13 years. His first album was I Wish My Brother George Was Here. And he sort of brought us out on the B-side to his Mr. Dabalina single,
Right.
this song called Burnt.
Right.
And ever since then, sort of the buzz has been going, so we just been trying to do it since then.
Show, man. Show. Man, like you guys have been definitely holding down the Bay for a long time. Hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
And y'all definitely been like a favorite amongst a lot of the hip hop heads, man. Like how do you handle that? You being just a
Man,
icon?
it's cool, man, because the Bay Area is small. As long as we stay level-headed and grounded, it doesn't matter. It's people show you love. That's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? I think when people sort of let it go to their head, they must not really be in an area like the Bay Area. The Bay Area is full of talented people, and it's just an honor to be considered one of them and to have the longevity that we have. Whereas I think a lot of places they're sort of like on an island. You know what I'm saying? And they're like the only talent around. But we got Tony, Tower Power, Guapole. Like it's all kind of talented people out here. Lettucey. Right. And it's like we're just another, stream in this sort of river of talent. So it's cool to get the respect and all that, but it's never really gone to our heads because, when worst comes to worst, like I sell my CDs at my table. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I go with my daughter to the park and, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not a kind of place where you get getting the VIP treatment means anything. I think if you're in New York and guys is ushering people away and you're getting into certain parts of the club that you've never been to, it's different. But we don't got that club culture out here. Right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's on some granola or pseudo granola tip out here. Yeah. So it's not really like flossing and being a super baller is even possible. Yeah. Let alone it be something that goes to your head,
Damn, I had a question. Just listening to what you're saying too at the same time.
So let me throw out a question.
Yeah,
though.
go ahead, man.
So back in like when y'all were at the top, like as far as on a national level, like a lot of the Bay Area, more mainly Oakland really was getting a lot of love nationally, and then now really no one's really showing love for like Oakland like on a national level. What do you think happened? Like,
I think that everybody's showing love for Oakland on a national level because all these rappers is copying us. I ain't talking about Hieroglyphics. I'm talking about 40, Short, Drew Down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, #1 single is PIMP. You know what I'm saying? And it's not by an Oakland brother. Right. It's by a cat from somewhere else where I remember we used to go out there and fools used to be like, you from Oakland? Oh, you must be a pimp. Now, your single is Pimp.
Exactly.
So it's a complete turnaround. Now everybody's for shizzle. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my folks, my partner. Right. They're doing the like what and all that in the video. You know what I'm saying though? So
that's real.
It's love, but it's that other kind of love. It's the same way, you know what I'm saying, white folks might get a suntan. And then, you know what I'm saying though? They not or rock dreadlocks. You know what I'm saying though? Yeah. Like but that's a type of love. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. I know that's what I'm saying though. So it's not like we've gone anywhere. It's just that we've been sort of incorporated into the wider culture of hip hop, which to me is a better thing. Now they can peep the subtle differences between everything, whereas before it was like Too Short, Pimp, that's it. You know what I'm saying though? Like he was his own category. Now it's like, okay, Too Short, independent, started off as an independent artist, godfather of a whole style of sound, etc. And you'll be able to see that those different currents, whereas before it just be like, oh, Too Short, that's that pimp talk. You know what I'm saying though? Like it's when you get deeper into a subject or you know more about a subject, you start to see all the complexities and the ebb and flow of all the different stuff. So it's kind of cool that we've been incorporated in the mainstream of hip hop. Only problem is that you don't get respect where respect is due, but that's a general trend in American society. It's not even just the hip-hop culture. You know what I'm saying? That's a general trend. Rarely is the originator the person who profits the most off of it, or the person who gets the accolades for doing it, you know, because people can't take that original. It's a jagged, it's too hard to digest. Whereas when people, okay, let me put a little twist on it and spin it this way, now, oh yeah, you're a genius. Oh yeah, this is new what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying though? When, nah, actually you're doing the same thing that Cass was doing not 10 years ago, but 20 years ago, 20 years ago in Oakland, on the mic. Independent. It's just like now, oh, we got all these new, I'm underground, I'm independent. I remember when Too Short was underground independent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying though? Like, and that's 20 years ago. So this is not some new thing where it's like now, yeah, now independent is taking over. Nah, it's been like that, especially from the Bay. You know what I'm saying? We've been known about that. I'm not saying like y'all got to get it proper. I'm not saying 10 years ago. I'm saying 20 years ago. A lot of these cats are like, I'm super underground, I'm the independent master, weren't even born. We're not born when this stuff was going down. So you gotta sort of take it with a grain of salt. And Oakland's getting love. You know, like it's a different type of love. You know what I'm saying though?
No.
Yeah.
This is about your music though. I noticed, you know, you and Hieroglyphics, you guys use a lot of different references from movies to like cartoons to just like to books, just different things, you know, like how does all those things just tie into hip hop in general? You know, like sports, just
man,
you know.
hip hop is a gumbo. Like it's post disco, post funk, but all these different musics are just they take from the generation before, add their spin onto it, and build on it. And hip hop, because it came in the technological age, it's like, and sampling is a big part of it. You know what I'm saying? And drum machines and all that kind of stuff. It takes from everything.
Right.
And that's not just on the lyrical side, but also on the musical side. So it's an incorporation of everything. I meet a lot of young kids today. I'm not trying to be down on the youngsters or nothing, but they grew up on only hip hop. And that's not hip hop. I'm telling you right now, if you only listen to hip hop, you down in everything. I'm not saying you ain't a real hip hopper, but that's not hip hop. You know what I'm saying? The first breakers was breaking the classical and swing music and all that kind of stuff. You know, the first beats is made out of blues and funk and jazz and all that. So y'all got to recognize hip hop as something that takes from everywhere and puts it through this certain lens. And that's what we do with our lyrics. You know what I'm saying? We're some cats from Oakland, but we have a universal experience because we're in this culture called hip hop, and it translates in, you know, common anecdotes and, you know, references that people can sort of tap into. You know, we rarely bring something into our lyrics that's so obscure, cats don't know what you're talking about. I think that's a style right now too. It's like, okay, I'm gonna quote this because nobody's heard of it. You know what I'm saying? But that's good too, because at least maybe then people will look for it.
Yeah.
Like, what were you talking about on that one thing? But we try to we're trying to be innovative without losing anybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean we dumb our music down, but if you're immersed in this culture, I don't think there's anything we say on any of our records that you're not gonna catch. Right. You may not have been exposed to it yet, but when you do, you're gonna be like, ah, he ripped it, ah, you know?
Yeah. So about the tour, like what cities have you guys, you know, really gotten the most love at? What cities have you guys really, you know, been well received at? You know, just if you name a few.
Man, whoa, we get love everywhere, man. That's what I'm saying about like the Bay style. You know what I'm saying? Like, and our style is universally recognized. Like, our shows have been almost sold out every night on this tour. You know what I'm saying? Not just at home, you know what I'm saying, but everywhere. So I like Chicago, Minneapolis, Vancouver, New York, you know what I'm saying? Like, but everywhere has been showing love. It's not, I guess we're in the vein of hip hop where coastal bias never really mattered. And since we're representing not really the West Coast, but just a new style, it's like it spoke to people who weren't from necessarily New York, who wanted to come out. You know what I'm saying? You hear about Outkast and they're saying, hey, we really influenced them. And I think not really as much stylistically as, hey, these cats is from somewhere else and they still doing it. You know, they hip hop cats from somewhere else. Well, we can do that too. You know, because I think for a long time, people thought all we had out here was gangsters and all that. And it's like, yeah, we got the whole gamut. And it ain't nothing wrong with any of these things, but we just try to represent, hey, regular hip hop dudes, not super backpack dudes, not over underground dude, not, you know what I'm saying, super gangster, super pimp. We trying to be everything, because hip hop is everything, just like funk is everything, jazz, all that. It's just incorporating all those elements, man. So we get love everywhere, you know, like everywhere. It's cool. All over the world, though. It ain't just like in the States even. It's all over the world.
That's cool. So, is there any other questions you want us to ask about like the new album or anything?
Yeah, I guess about Full Circle and then about Power
the,
Movement.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on real quick.
That was first. Whatever.
Yeah, go ahead. Start it.
Just I guess just the change between making a major, from a major to independent.
Yeah, pros and cons.
Pros and cons. Just what exactly, just for people that don't really know that, may want to get signed later on down the road. Things to watch out for. Just things of that nature.
Wow. Okay. Real. I'll try to break it down in a little.
Words.
Yeah. Really, man. Major versus independent is like this, and I think it goes for anything, not just music. If you're selling widgets, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Major labels are old money, old resources, and old relationships. Okay, so they can get you on radio because they've got these 30 hits that have already been hits on radio. So hey, play Cool Rocky J too, damn it, or we're not gonna give you Hip Hip Ski. You know what I'm saying though? So that the relationships is one thing. The money is another thing. Play Cool Rocky J because I'll give you 50 G's and we'll give away a Bentley. You know what I'm saying? On every one of your stations. And we'll have, we'll put you on TV, all this kind of stuff. And then just the machinery. You know what I'm saying? I've got a relationship. I've done $10 billion with Virgin Megastore in the past 5 years. So, pick up Cool Rocky J's album too, and I want it in the front display, and I want a window with Cool Rocky J. You know what I'm saying though? Like, so it's all those things. And those things count immensely in this world where every 10 seconds somebody is vying for anybody's attention, starting from children's age on up. So whoever they can get the most flashes of is most likely going to get picked up quicker because people are sheep, period. You know what I'm saying? So with all those advantages, there's got to be a downside. And the downside is you don't get anything from the label. As far as you get maybe 80 cents to $1 per record. They're making the other $8 or $9 to themselves. However, you have to pay back all your gold, all the fax paper that they faxed on, the pens they used, all those lunches, that corporate card they gave you, out of your 80 cents.
Right.
So they're not even really taking a loss. If you flop, they're taking a loss. But if you blow up, they're getting their paper on. So where you see these guys who sold 4 or 5 million records, and they may have $100,000 in their pocket, but the record companies made 16, 20 million off of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like literally. Where you look at a TLC who sold more records than any other girl group ever in the history of mankind, and they filing for bankruptcy and living together. You see what I'm saying? So that's the downside, and that's good for people who want to be famous. If you want to be famous and you're smart, you can make money off just signing T-shirts and selling them, or making T-shirts, selling them, appearing places. So the upside is the fame is much more likely when you're on a major because they have that exposure and the money. But independent, it's almost exactly the opposite. You usually don't have any money, or maybe some startup money, but you really just got to hit the streets and grind and get visible through other means, especially nowadays, because you see places like this owned by Clear Channel, who also owns every billboard you see going up and down the street, and also owns every radio station that you would hear hip hop on, except for college radio. You see what I'm saying? So if you can't play with them, you're not gonna get heard nowadays. So you have to squeak in the cracks. And there's not really a whole bunch of money you can pay off to squeak through those cracks, even if you're a billionaire starting an independent label. So it's the lack of exposure on the independent tip, but on the conversely, I sell 10 records, I'm gonna make $80.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Straight to the pocket. I sell 1 million records, I'm gonna make $8 million, versus 20,000. You know what I'm saying? So it makes a big difference. But to get to that million record status, which would be crazy for an independent, you know, that's not paired up with a major, you've got to grind. Like we tour 5 months out of the year, you know what I'm saying? We do probably 180 shows a year, every year, and have for the past at least 5-6 years since we've been independent.
Right.
You know, beforehand when we were on a major, we didn't have to tour really at all. We went on tours, you know, get our chops up, learn how to rock.
Yeah.
But we was on TV. People gonna buy your record anyways.
Right.
You know, but that being said, we've sold more than 10 times as many more records on the major label, and I make 10 times more money now. I make money now. Let's start there, let alone more money. You know, like, so it's, you know, it depends on what you want to do. I don't say don't mess with the major labels. Just be smart about it. If you're gonna mess with the major labels, own your publishing. Try to have it so you can do collaborations and stuff with other companies, other labels, and all that kind of stuff. And make sure that you're touring and getting that tour money and being visible. Don't let your label be in charge of that, because they don't make any money off of that, so they're only going to put you on tour to promote the record, their product. You're promoting yourself. You are your product when you're a musician. So as long as you stay smart, go ahead and sign to a major label. And when you get that money, invest that money. You know, I paid for college with the money that I got from Jive or whatever. So in the end, it's worth it, because we have the fame that we got from Jive. You know what I'm saying? We got hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of fans who listen to us. And then I got the money that I used to educate myself so that now I can do anything. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of artists don't do that. They buy chains, they buy cars, they buy expensive liqueurs. You know what I'm saying though? And that's the reason why they're on Behind the Music 10 years later. Whereas I think if they have us on Behind the Music, it's going to be a success story no matter what, even if we quit right now, because we took matters into our own hands, not because we wanted to, but because it was thrust upon us, and we were able to roll with the punches, you know?
So would you say it turned out better though?
Hell yeah, man. I couldn't feed my child off the money that I was getting from Jive, you know what I'm saying? Like, rap musicians get peanuts. Then you go to a place like this, one of these Clear Channel owned establishments, and they want to take 40% of your t-shirt money. You know what I'm saying though? Like, so you're screwing the artists all the way around.
Yeah.
So, nah, man, it turned out much better. However, if we would have been on a major label all this time, who knows? We might be Nelly and them. You know what I'm saying? But we're hieroglyphics, and we're still standing, and we're prospering, and we're starting a whole new revolution in music that is setting the path and the groundwork for not just hip hoppers, but punk rockers. You know what I'm saying? So we got I mean, like Guapale. She's independent soul singer. Bubbling though, you know what I'm saying though? You don't hear about that. Most of the soul singers, you gotta go through a major.
Right.
So we're laying that groundwork. So that to me is the real success. It's not really money. I'm gonna get money no matter what. Like, this is America. You can get your money out here, you know, no matter what I'm doing. But being able to set a foundation where artistry has a platform to get out there to a wide base, and on top of that, the artist gets to make enough money to just be an artist, like that is way more rewarding. Not just for myself, but for all the people that we bringing up behind us.
Just out of curiosity, what year did you guys make the switch from?
97.
Okay.
Nah, 96.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we got dropped in 96. And it was just like, we had a studio, you know, like things like that. Like, I was in school at the time, so part of the things we learned about, like communism and all that kind of stuff, and capitalism, like own the means of production. So if you have your equipment and you can make music, make music. We got artists who will get dropped from a label, multi-platinum artists, and can't even record a record because they don't even have a studio yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait, you're Snoop Dogg, you're Brian McKnight, you know what I'm saying? No, like, you're huge. How can you not record a record? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they never bought any of that stuff. Whereas even, okay, then on top of that, when you're on a label, like when we was on a label, they had us mixing in a studio they owned, renting equipment from a equipment rental company that they owned. That's gangster shit. You know, excuse me, that's not cool though.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying though? Like, so, it really is.
Yeah.
So, you gotta own your means of production. When you started out making music at your house, hopefully you had control of it. Don't let it get so far gone that you can't even do what you love doing, which is make music on your own. Because all these lights and stuff turn off. And when they do, are you still gonna be a musician? Like when me and my partners was little, we was rappers. and we still rappers, but it doesn't have anything to do with us being able to sell out shows all over the country and all over the planet. It has to do with the fact that we rap. You know what I'm saying though? Like, and you can't take that from somebody. Right. You might even be able to take my voice from me, but I'm still be a writer. Mm-hmm. You know, like it's nothing. You gotta realize who you are, what your potential is, and what you're worth, and understand that that value comes from within, not from outside. You know what I'm saying? There was a time period when fools was dissing us. You know, oh, they fell off, they da-da-da-da-da-da. Now, these same people are copying verbatim and step by step what we're doing in order to be successful. And that's not the best revenge. I don't believe in revenge. But it's like, see, the lights do turn off and they turn back on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a constant flux. And as long as we can sort of ride the waves, it's cool. But any intelligent person should be able to ride the wave. And when I talk about this in the music business, that's anything. If you make t-shirts, if you write books, whatever, these outside investors are gonna come in when they realize you have talent, and they're gonna try to push you to that next level. But the trade-off is you owe your soul to them. And you gotta recognize that you are the sole controller of your soul. You can't allow somebody else to dictate that for you, because when all is said and done and the lights really turn off, it's just gonna be you and your actions and how you live and all that. And nobody's gonna want to hear the excuse. No deity or whatever, or your children or your family, or anybody's want to hear the excuse they may be doing. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be all on you. And that's to all the youngsters out there or whatever. Your parents are here to guide you. But at a certain point, a spanking ain't gonna change what you wanna do. You know what I'm saying? Being grounded is not gonna change what you wanna do. Then after that point, ain't nobody gonna ground you. You know what I'm saying? You might end up in jail and be really grounded, but you feel what I'm saying though? It's all on you. It's all within you. When you gone, it's all gone. It's over. For you. So do what you gotta do.
That's real. Do you want to talk about the new album?
Yeah,
just plug everything, man.
I know the Full Circle album. You want to talk about how, I guess what's different about this album than your other projects?
Man, the Full Circle album really, we just got together. We had a beach house down in LA, then we moved back up here. We got a studio up here. So we just was partying and chilling and really just concentrating on music. So I say the album is a lot more musically diverse and richer than a lot of the projects we've done before. You know what I'm saying? It's all high road. The only guests we have is Guapole and Abstract Rude and a guy named Amp Fiddler, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it feels good to be able to create an album on your own terms and then it come out and people really like it and accept it, because we didn't know what cats were gonna think, you know, because we just did what we wanted to do. And I don't know, I think it's 15, 16 cuts, all of them heat. You know, right now we're trying to figure out what the single is, and we're getting so many calls back on what people think it should be. So that's always a good thing when people are like, hey, it's all good. Yeah. And I don't know, man, it's definitely worth getting, man. It's Full Circle, hieroglyphics, man. And then in March I got an album called Power Movement. It's coming out, the Tajai album, you know. And basically it's just, my record, it's more like, when I say power movement, I'm talking about getting the wheels turning in your head, getting your center of power in motion, because these are very serious times we're living in. Because I don't care if it's 1503 or 1893 or 2003, you're immortal, so you're always living in the last days, because at a certain point you're gonna die. So let's get off our behinds and make moves while we're here, while we're young, while we're at the height of our power. You know what I'm saying? Let's read. Let's ask questions. Let's not take things for face value, because when you don't, you realize a lot of it is smoke and mirrors, and a lot of it is some real good stuff out here that's gonna help you improve your life. And I'm trying to be part of that current and not really be like preachy, like, yeah, listen to me. Just like, listen, you know, like become conscious, you know, not, I mean, you see the red, black, and green, but not like conscious like this. I'm conscious like this because this is my culture. This is how I was raised. This is what I was taught, you know, but I'm asking everybody to be conscious on a global and a universal level, because we live in a society that's moving towards that. And we're gonna be the stewards of this movement. And in order to do that, we gotta be better people than we're being groomed to be. Because if not, those people who are working a lot harder than us are going to be really, really, really solidifying their power and their control. Like right now, we live in a country where we didn't vote for the president, and nobody's throwing Molotovs in the street right now. Nobody's protesting, nobody's doing anything. You know what I'm saying? And they've basically set a precedent to say, hey, we can do whatever we want to do right in front of you, and you're not going to do anything because you're trying to go get a $500 jersey and some expensive liqueurs. And in order to do that, you got to work, so you don't got time to protest. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to get, the power movement is about motion, just motion. The world is moving no matter what. Are you going to move with it or move ahead of it? Or are you just going to be pushed around by the forces around us? You know? So, same with Full Circle though. You know, it's the same thing, man. I believe in the zero, man. It all comes back. You know what I'm saying? Good and bad are all, it's yin yang, all these same concepts. And my thing is the zero rolls. It's not just a line just sitting there. It's not static. It rolls. And I'm trying to be that push. So watch out for that, man. Watch out for all the high road projects, because we got the Dell 11th Hour album coming. We got the Pep Love Reconstruction album coming. We got Casual Presents Smash Rockwell coming. A+, My Last Good Deed. We got Hieroglyphics, Full Circle live album and DVD that we're filming. I mean, we're trying to come with these products so that people can say, hey, there is some quality hip hop out there, and they can't complain. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't like it, top it. Because I want to hear some quality hip hop too. You know, I'm not trying to run around like we the best. I think when we was young, we was on some arrogant tip, like we'll kill you on the mic. What? And that's cool. We can battle. You know, that's all good too. And I'm not against that or opposed to that. But I'm starting to realize that it's being the best you can be is what matters more than being the best on a comparative scale. Because the comparison is being made by people from the outside. And you should feel as a person that you're incomparable because you're special. Every single person is special and here for a purpose. And Hieroglyphics, I think finally we're living up to our purpose, you know what I'm saying, by being on the cutting edge, not of just music, which we've always been, but the cutting edge of business, the cutting edge of sort of a social concept of living and working together, and the cutting edge of just planning and thinking for the future. That's really what Hieroglyphics is about. We're trying to be those markings that set the path for a long time to go. But the path is not no set path. It's, hey, there's a path out there. Why don't you find it? You know? Right. You know? That's about it. Man, hieroglyphics.com has been up and running now 9 years. You know what I'm saying? We've been on the web for 9 years. You know, you get all the inside scoop on everything that's going down with Hieroglyphics. We got all the products you see at our shows and on TV and all that. We got those at hieroglyphics.com. We got forums for people to interact with people. And we really be getting a lot of support. So make sure you go through there. It's hieroglyphics.com. And that being said, I'd like to give a shout out to Stinky, who started the website. My man Dub, you know what I'm saying, who's been keeping it up. And really just Daria, the pit boss at the office, the whole Hyro crew, Domino, Pep Love, Dale, A+, Festo, Opio, Casual, you know what I'm saying, Torre. And basically everybody out there that's doing it, man, trying to progress, man. These are some real serious times that we in. And it's time for us to get serious, you know what I'm saying? Then we can party. That's it though. One love, y'all. Hey.